Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. San Diego's road repair budget is vastly underfunded. Last week, Public Matters reporter Jake Gata looked into why the city doesn't have enough money to fix all of the roads. But today he joins us to share an update on what the city is doing with the budget that they do have. Jake, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us, what's the situation with the city's road repair budget?
So it's pretty simple. The city doesn't have enough money to maintain the huge network of roads we have in the short term, and that means it'll just be more expensive down the line.
And why is that? Because there is a funding gap, and where is that coming from?
So these road repair funds aren't just random. The money comes from specific things like gas taxes, state funds, and the local Transnet ordinance that's a sales tax. But that level of funding from all those sources hasn't kept up with the need to cover our road network.
But why is this happening now? It seems like there was money for these repairs in the past, right?
Well, a couple things are happening here. First, the roads are just getting older. The longer you defer maintenance on roads, the more it costs to fix them when you do get around to it. But the other part is we're just reaching a breaking point for the city on the level of traffic on the roads, and the sprawling nature of a lot of the city's low-density neighborhoods means there's really not enough tax money coming in per mile of road. Here's what Bill Fulton, the former city planning director, told me.
When you have a sprawling city, the math doesn't add up between the amount of tax revenue coming in and the amount of money that has to go out the door for services.
Jake, what is the city's approach to this problem right now?
The city just today celebrated a record number of road repairs done by their in-house mill and pave team. So one thing the city found is that they can save money and do more miles of road for less with an in-house team. And that team is focused on the worst roads in the city that need a complete redo. A couple years ago, KPBS and our partner iNewsSource looked into the city's pavement management plan and found it was really inequitable in where roads were being prioritized for maintenance. One aspect of the plan was to balance super expensive repairs on really terrible quality roads with cheaper fixes on the roads that aren't as bad to be cost effective. But what we found was a lot of the worst roads in the city are in lower income neighborhoods, places that have been underfunded and underserved for decades. So now the city's plan takes that into account, and they had a press conference today in District 4 to celebrate a record 30 miles of lanes completed by this in-house team this year. Here's what Mayor Todd Gloria said at the press conference today.
This work is happening all across the city of San Diego, but a special effort has been made in our historically underserved communities like Council District 4 to make sure that the overdue investments are finally coming to these neighborhoods.
So, Jake, the city said that these 30 lane miles were a record, but put that into context for us, if you will. Is that a large share of the city's roadways?
Overall, no, it's not. The city has more than 6,600 miles of roadway lanes. It's the second largest city road network in the state, behind Los Angeles. But there are 30 miles of some of the worst roads in the city getting completely repaired. So that's a big deal. And those aren't the only miles repaired. There's still other maintenance like slurry seals and some less expensive repairs being done across the city.
So what can be done long term here?
Long term, the city is going to need either more revenue or fewer cars on the roads, or both. The path the city is on for roads, for transit, and for a lot of infrastructure is unsustainable. And it looks like there could be a ballot measure or two in 2028 that would try to address some of these serious funding problems.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for being here and for your reporting.
Anytime, Maya. Thanks for having me.
Temperatures dropping down to the mid-60s once again. A few clouds out there. The main changes that we're going to talk about this week have to do with our temperatures. It's kind of a repeat of what we've been seeing in recent weeks. And, of course, the marine layer, though I think you're going to like the update I have for you on that. I'll break it all down coming up.
U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance touted a, quote, very, very good day of negotiations Sunday between the U.S. and Iran. He also denied that bombastic statements from President Donald Trump upended negotiations. Ivan Rodriguez reports on the latest developments, including the ongoing conflict in Lebanon.
Vice President J.D. Vance sounding optimistic over the status of negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, touting 4 major priorities during remarks Monday.
First, we wanted to build a mechanism for keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. It is open. Number 2, we also wanted to build a mechanism, a similar mechanism, for deconfliction for the regional ceasefire. If Hezbollah fires at Israel or if Israel responds. Number 3, we, and this is probably what we're most excited about as Americans, the Iranians have agreed to invite IAEA inspectors back into their country.
Vance also said negotiators were able to set up a process for technical negotiations to continue, yet some Democrats are raising concerns.
We're having to give away massive concessions just to get back to ground zero, where we were the day before the war began.
Amid clashes between Iran-backed Hezbollah and Israel in southern Lebanon, Vance said the talks were still a, quote, work in progress. An Israeli source said Israel is considering announcing symbolic withdrawals from minor areas in southern Lebanon.
I mean, one of the most extraordinary aspects of the last few days, weeks, is the U.S. recognition, acknowledgement, whatever you want to call it, to the fact that Iran has a major role to play in Lebanon.
As for what's next, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will travel to the Middle East this week, marking the first cabinet official to visit the region following the signing of the U.S.-Iran Memorandum of Understanding. Ivan Rodriguez, KPBS News.
Tijuana hosted a presidential visit over the weekend. KPBS video journalist Matthew Bowler tells us what brought Mexico's president to town.
La educación es un derecho, no un privilegio.
That was the refrain from Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo in Tijuana over the weekend. She made 2 stops in the city. The first was at the opening of a new high school, Centro Bachillerato Tecnológico Industrial y de Servicios, number 290, in one of the southernmost neighborhoods of Tijuana.
1, 2, 3.
And her second stop was at Parque Morelos in Tijuana proper, where more than 1,000 children and their parents waited to hear President Sheinbaum speak. The president was there to announce a new universal basic education scholarship named for the 19th century Mexican feminist and literacy activist Rita Cetina Gutierrez. In August, more than 290,000 Baja California primary school students will receive 2,500 pesos each to buy new school supplies and uniforms, according to the Mexican government. That's around $150. Across Mexico, more than 9 million kids will receive the educational aid.
La tarjeta del Banco del Bienestar, el Banco del Pueblo de México, para que en agosto reciban el apoyo para útiles y uniformes escolares. Esta beca es para todas y todos los niños de México.
President Sheinbaum was sworn into office in October of 2024 and has seen extremely high approval ratings since day one. President Sheinbaum has a nearly 70% approval rating, according to a poll conducted for the international newspaper El País. In Tijuana, Matthew Bowler, KPBS News.
A new report ranks California schools the 10th most economically segregated in the country. KPBS reporter Katie Heisen has more on why that matters and what can be done.
Schools in California are more divided between rich and poor than in 40 other states in the country. That divide is worse than it was 3 decades ago nationally.
Concentrated poverty in schools is a unique educational harm.
The Brown's Promise Project co-authored the study. Stephen Owens is their policy director and a former teacher.
If you have one child in your 25 that you're teaching that's having a difficult time or who has a lot of needs that are being unmet at home, that can be treated as like, okay, how can we support this human? If 20 of your 25 kids are dysregulated, are having these needs unmet.
He says economic segregation leads to teacher turnover and burnout and worse outcomes for students.
It's hard to learn if so many of your classmates are dealing with those unmet needs.
He says one of the most straightforward solutions is to redraw district lines or share across them.
They were not handed down from Mount Sinai, right? Like, you have to abide by this county system or this municipality system. Like, these were lines that were drawn at one point and can be redrawn or can have their impact lessen in children's lives.
Katie Hyson, KPBS News.
I'm Nick Schifrin. Tonight on the NewsHour, the United States says Iran has agreed to invite UN nuclear inspectors back into the country. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Recent federal data shows hiring is picking up in some industries, including healthcare and skilled trades. But even with those gains, long-term unemployment is at a 4.5-year high, and employers say some positions are still hard to fill. Here's Michael Yoshida with more on the disconnect between hiring managers and job seekers.
It's a job market mismatch where some employers are hiring, but still there are many other workers struggling to find the right opportunity. So we spoke with an expert about how job seekers can adjust and where employers are seeing the greatest need.
As hiring in the U.S. appears to be picking up, some employers are still struggling to fill open positions.
There's a disconnect going on in the market right now.
Indeed's Priya Rathod says new data from the company shows of the top 10 roles employers are recruiting hardest for right now, half are in healthcare, with nearly all the rest in skilled trades.
What we're seeing is that a lot of the jobs that job seekers are looking for don't match up with the jobs that employers are having a hard time recruiting for.
A mismatch, but Rathod says it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. Her advice for recent or upcoming graduates, stay flexible, especially in a world shaped by artificial intelligence, where human-based skills like critical thinking, communication, leadership, and adaptability are becoming more valuable across industries.
Those skills aren't just learned from that perfect next job. They can be learned from internships, from retail positions, and it's going to create the experience and the knowledge you need to get into several different careers moving forward.
And many in-demand jobs, especially in skilled trades, don't require a 4-year degree. So for people considering a career switch or those out of work for a while, Rathod says pivoting into an in-demand field may be more achievable than it sounds.
In many cases, you can get certifications, again, within 6 to 18 months. Hone in on the one certification you have to have in order to be employed in this role, and go in that direction and combine it with your transferable skills to get into these stable professions.
And with a growing number of retirements and aging workforce in both medical care as well as skilled trades, Rathod says those industries will likely continue to see high demand and stability even as AI impacts the broader job market. She says one way to think about this, AI, it can't fix a garbage disposal, but a plumber can. Those human traits and skills, she says, they'll be in demand for quite some time. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Well, summer is upon us, and that usually means kids playing outside or in summer sports leagues like softball or soccer. But the costs of youth sports are increasingly out of reach for many families. This week in our Price of San Diego project, KPBS North County reporter Alexander Nguyen looks at how some coaches are trying to help.
Nice and composed in the end from Richie Laria.
Right now, the biggest sporting event on earth is happening, the World Cup. Millions of kids throughout the country are watching. Some are hoping that one day they, too, will be playing in front of millions. But that dream is out of reach for a lot of those kids, not because of a lack of talent, but because of costs.
For uniform and fees, it's $600, between $500 to $600 at the beginning.
A recent study by the Aspen Institute's Project Play shows that family spending on youth sports has increased by 46% since 2019, making it out of reach for many low-income families.
Let's go, 3v3, we open up the field.
Tom Bowie is a coach at City Heights Youth Soccer. He says on top of the uniform costs, there are also travel costs for away games.
You're looking between $1,500 to $2,000 per player.
And that's just for a club team. For competitive leagues, those costs jump astronomically.
That could be in the thousands and the tens of thousands.
That creates a barrier for entry for low-income families. A 2021 survey by the Sports and Fitness Industry Association shows that in families making $25,000 or less a year, only 24% of kids 6 to 12 participate in organized sports, compared to 40% for families making $100,000 or more. That's why Bowie waives the fees for his club team, allowing kids to participate completely free of charge. He's able to do this because of sponsorships and volunteer coaches.
If any kids that come out and want to play, we'll find that we'll train them, we'll teach them.
The high costs of team sports are why Hilda Otian founded the nonprofit San Marcos Basketball in 2020. It's a club team where children can participate for free or a small fee.
I grew up in a free program that has helped me, and sports was part of who I am today.
She says while some of the costs could be offset by playing on school teams, that's not enough if kids want to move on to the next level, be it varsity, collegiate sports, or professional leagues.
You need to play 3 to 4 hours a day your sport, whether it is basketball or baseball or any other sport. You need to play at that level in order to be competitive.
Christian Littlejohn Chin was a product of the program. He now plays semi-professionally for the San Diego Suns and also coaches for the program. He says playing in club teams got him to where he is now.
Club sports, to me, was bigger than high school or school basketball was, because it gives you a sense of freedom that you don't get in those more structured games. And that's where you really become yourself, because basketball is a confident sport. So you're only as good as confident as you are.
For parents like A.J. Narasimhan, club sports are a way to help their children be more active. But costs can sometimes get in the way.
When I was a child, sports was considered as a necessity, and now it's considered as a luxury.
He says even participating on club teams at local recreation centers, where costs are lower, is still expensive.
We also have to, pay for the association fees. So there's a lot of other costs that go into it that kind of make it a little bit cost prohibitive for folks, to sign their kids up for sports.
According to an American Orthopedic Society for Sports Medicine study, getting kids involved in sports early helps with motor skills, social development, and lifelong healthy habits. The same study also shows that income is the biggest driver for early participation, limiting opportunities for lower-income children to participate in sports. For now, programs like Boys are giving low-income kids a kick-up in the sports world. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
And that story is part of our Price of San Diego series. We have more cost of living stories about everything from rising gas prices to saving money on live sports events. Check it out online at kpbs.org/Price of San Diego. Could San Diego play host to another NASCAR race next year? KPBS military reporter Andrew Dyer says NASCAR officials are looking into it after calling the races this past weekend a big success.
Instead of roaring jets this weekend at Naval Air Station North Island, it was all roaring race cars. NASCAR officials deemed the much-hyped race at the base a success after Sunday's main event. NASCAR Chief Operating Officer Ben Kennedy was already talking about coming back.
What's the future look like? Are we coming back? Are we not coming back? What I can tell you is that we feel like this is a tremendously successful event. We would love to return. We're also cognizant of the fact that this is active military base, and we want to be mindful of that as well.
The event had challenges. As predicted, traffic on the San Diego Coronado Bridge backed up for miles heading to and from the base. There were long lines at the ferry to avoid the bridge, too. NASCAR is reportedly looking to return next year. Kennedy says NASCAR is talking things over with the Navy.
I'd like to sit down with them, have a debrief, and then have a conversation about, hey, is there an opportunity for us to return here? So nothing to report today. A lot more conversations we'll have after this weekend.
There were race issues, too. Friday and Saturday's races were interrupted frequently by crashes. The concrete tarmac that served as part of the track chewed through tires, and drivers struggled to keep their cars from sliding into walls. Another crash Sunday involving first, second, and third place cars caused a chain reaction. If you want a taste of the Coronado track for yourself, you won't have to wait long. iRacing Studios used the event to unveil its cover for the upcoming NASCAR 26 video game. The company says the North Island circuit is in there. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
Well, the temperature roller coaster continues, and just like the last couple of weeks, we're not talking wild temperature swings, but heat building through midweek, then we cool down as we head into the weekend. The other change this week that I think you're going to like if you're not a fan of the June gloom, the marine layer, it's going to be shrinking through midweek. So it's just a couple days of it, but a break from the early morning, low clouds, fog we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. So overnight tonight, 70 in Borrego Springs. We're in the 50s in Ramona, and then along the coast, the low to mid 60s, 64 for San Diego. Now, tomorrow, most of us continue with the status quo. 74 for Oceanside, 87 in Ramona. It's as we get towards our mountain regions, we could see a stray shower or thunderstorm here. The icons kind of give the impression that it's more of an all-day thing. You might think more than what we're actually going to see just by looking at the icons here. So let's take a look at future radar and give you a better idea. So we go through much of the day, nothing. It's not until late afternoon into the evening. It's spotty here or there, and it's not out of the question that we have some problems with dry lightning. We have an elevated fire risk really through the week for this part of the country, really from our inland regions, our mountain regions, on through the rest of the Southwest. So just something to keep in mind. Don't be surprised if there's a shower or a thunderstorm that might interrupt some evening plans overall, but it's not going to be anything major. Taking a look at our 5-day outlook, we're staying pretty consistent along the coast. What else is new? 74, 75 with our lows, 62, 63. We get to 64 once again by Saturday. Further inland, we go from the 80s, low 80s, back down to the upper 70s by the time we get to Saturday. So it's within a few degrees. This is what I'm saying, that it's not wild temperature swings, but it's a few variations here or there. Again, mountain regions, a few thunderstorms Tuesday. Don't think it's an all-day major impact to your day. It's just a scattered thunderstorm here or there. We do cool down by Thursday, going from 74 to 71 and then staying in the low 70s overall. For our desert regions, you also could see a few showers Tuesday, but again, very scattered, not a huge impact. We stay in the triple digits for much of the week, but then that cool down hits and you're probably going to feel this difference. 102 to 96 Friday to Saturday. Maybe Saturday's your day to get outside and enjoy the less hot weather. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather's Anna Azalian.
Get the latest from KPBS delivered right into your inbox. We have a variety of newsletters, and that includes the daily headlines, our KPBS arts and streaming picks, and our North County focus. Just go to kpbs.org and look for the newsletter section at the top of the screen, and from there you can sign up with your email address. A new art gallery has opened in Los Angeles, but unlike typical art museums, this one is powered by artificial intelligence, perhaps the first of its kind in the world. Tara Lynn Wagner stepped inside the museum and has more.
You are standing inside a work of art.
Standing inside Dataland can at times feel like standing inside a kaleidoscope. The walls disappear as images swirl all around you. But this isn't just immersive, it's also interactive.
For 5,000 years, we look at the artworks and we feel something. Here at Dataland, the question is, can artwork feel us back?
That's the question posed by media artist Rafik Anadol, and Dataland is his answer. This museum has a brain, a neural center that's processing and responding to data in real time. Some of that data comes directly from the visitor via a wristband that monitors heartbeat and emotion through changes in the skin.
Which is goosebumps, to be more precise.
Another wearable emits scents triggered by the individual's own experience.
All these omnisensory presentations are creating a new form of art, and that's what we are calling a living artworks.
That's one way to put it. Another way is AI. Dataland is billed as the world's first museum of AI art, a phrase bound to invite controversy, and that's the point.
AI is the most powerful technology for humanity. It will transform anything and everything.
But Rafik, who was listed as one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in AI, says it all depends on how you use it. Dataland is human-machine collaboration, he explained, adding that his LA-based studio employs a team of people from 10 countries.
There's always human, will be always human. It's all about being human in the age of machine intelligence.
Efsun Erkulic is the co-founder and chief strategy officer of Dataland and Rafik's wife. As an artist herself, she's not threatened by this technology, which she says is still in its infancy.
I believe in humanity. We are going to decide what's going to happen. I prefer to stand with the humans and our ability to turn every other threat into our alliance.
There's a lot of data in Dataland. 84 projectors in this room alone, 3,500 square feet of LEDs, 1.5 billion pixels. The The first exhibit, Machine Dreams Rainforest, is built on a vast foundation of data, ethically collected, Rafik says, from digital nature repositories, like the Encyclopedia of Life, a free public biodiversity resource that includes over 2 million species, as well as information Rafik's team gathered during trips to 16 rainforest environments.
We have enormous data around us. We can't see it, we can't feel it.
But using programming to visualize that data demystifies it, he says.
And I feel like it's a very profound change of perception. It's making invisible visible.
Through pixels, perfumes, and countless lines of code.
And Data Lane is located at the Grand LA. It's part of the city that is home to a lot of arts institutions. Here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. While Vice President J.D. Vance indicates progress in peace negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is suffering one of the biggest political crises of his career. Why Israelis say they are ready for change at the top. That's on NPR's Morning Edition. And making new friends as an adult can be challenging, especially when trying to balance jobs, families, and major life changes. On KPBS Midday Edition, we dive deep into how to make strong connections and maintain them. You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Good night.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.